Good morning, and welcome to this part of the Power Breakfast Show. As always, you're trying to mix it up and create a totally different atmosphere for you, and get to give you information and to give you every detail and to talk about the things that you want to talk about and the things that you want to know and to guide you through that process. And so that is our duty here. And today, as you can see, we've turned our outside studio, if you like, to Akayad. Yani Ayad.
Not that woman dying. So really, it's not business as usual. Yes. Today it's all about cars, especially not so extremely high-end cars, but something that will make you cough some little million shillings there if you want
little to. Little is relative.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
It's relative. Little to me might be 20 million.
Okay.
Little to you might be 50.
And given the fact that you're the Luo,
basically little is 50.
Yeah. So basically we have quite a number of cars here. We will roughly take you through them so that you can just get an idea of the kind of cars that we are having today, and we will be breaking it down for you. We have a very powerful individual on the show today who will help us actually understand just basically what's in a car. What's in a car?
As you can see down here. What's in a car. So right, let's take a look at the cars that we will be reviewing and talking about today. We'll start
at the extreme
left. Our left.
Okay.
Right, so over there we have the Audi Q7.
That's an Audi Q7.
Yes.
We also have a BMW X5.
The BMW X5 is also chilling with us here today.
And just next to it, we have a Land Cruiser, Toyota Land Cruiser V8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Making sure that we don't get that wrong.
Yes. And behind, right here,
this is just a little baby here.
Yes. This is the Range Rover Sport.
All
right. We'll be talking about this as well.
And then just before we come to this one here, we will cross over to that other Land Cruiser VX.
Yes.
Is it?
ZX. V8 ZX. AKA Bruno, I was told.
2015.
Yes.
2015.
Yes.
The black one, that's what we are talking about. It's just landed from where it was manufactured from.
I tell you what.
On my right, we have a
car that I can drive. Finally.
For those who feel like they want to be a bit down to earth, this is the car that we will be talking about. It's a Mini Cooper.
Yes.
A powerful car, we are given to understand. So we will just have a look at them, and that individual that we spoke to you about, we will be introducing him in not so long a time so that he can help us really understand that basic question. What is it that's in a car? If you want to join the conversation, as always,
yes, it is 22422 22422. That is our SMS platform. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I mean that when you talk about cars, there's so many questions. What price are you looking at? Of course, it's all about your budget, but we'll try to discuss a lot of things: diesel or petrol, used or showroom. I mean, like you had already started sending some of those questions. So what do you look for when your car? Well, how come some cars are 15 million? What are the specs that they have? The hashtag to use is Power Breakfast. The hashtag to use is Power Breakfast on Twitter at Citizen TV Kenya, at Ule Saburu, at Kirigo Ngaro, and at
Patrick Iguza. As always, spontaneous on the Power Breakfast Show. The Breakfast Show, your power.
Breakfast, your power. All right. Let's now get into the heart of the matter. We're going to introduce Mike Mwai to come so we can talk to him as well. Mike, thank you so much for making time. This is the car guru himself. Right, Mike, maybe first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I love cars.
Yes.
So I've been writing about cars for about 15 years now. Before I could write about cars, I had to learn about them. So I did my studying for about 6 years before that.
Okay.
And
6 years studying the automobile.
Yeah, just reading up about them to find out what they're about. And now I consider myself a car lover. I love cars more than anything else. And rather than talk about what they can do, what they can do for you, and the relationship you should have with your car, which is more important than how fast you can drive it. Because a lot of the times you think about being the fastest guy on the street. What is important is how can you interact with your vehicle and have a relationship that is mutually beneficial to you, especially.
As you can see, even from the way he's talking, you can get that Mike is really a car lover. A relationship with your car. Some ladies sitting there saying, what? But alright, so you've done a car show as well?
Yes, I did a car show a couple of years ago. We've done 2 seasons, about 26 episodes. And on the show, we are trying to educate the viewers on what car they need as opposed to what car they want. Wanting and needing are 2 different things. You might want that car, but what you need is something different. So we are trying to educate the buyers of cars how they should choose their vehicles and what it will cost them to run them.
And you've driven like so many cars.
That's true. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough.
Yes, and because as you go ahead and test them and look at them, what is your favorite car of all of them? Like if I was to say, what is your favorite car? Every guy has their favorite car.
Depends on what the car is doing for me. I like cars that drive well.
Okay.
A driver's car. So there are lots of driver's cars. But currently my favorite is a BMW because I can feel what's going on in it. It doesn't isolate me from the road. It's very sporty. There are so many good cars. There's Lexus, there's Mercedes, there's Jaguar. Great cars, well built. There's Toyota at different levels depending on what you want it for. So I will have 5 cars eventually. And I'll change those 5 cars depending on what I need.
One every day of the week. I see how you roll, Mike. Alright, we're going to start unpacking these vehicles, and Igunze can join us. We're going to start with the Audi Q7 over there as we walk and see them. So sorry about that, sir. This is the Audi Q7, and maybe, I don't know, you can maybe walk us through the Audi Q7.
Audi Q7 is you know about the VW Group?
Yes.
They do lots of vehicles. They are going to be the #1 car seller in the world very soon. We don't have a dealer for Audi yet.
Okay.
But what they have done is created a vehicle for every segment of people. The platform this is built on also builds the Touareg and the Cayenne. You can get all sorts of engines with this car. 4.2, V8, 3-liter, petrol, 3-liter, diesel, 3.6-liter. So there's lots of engines that can go into this car. But more importantly is the space you get.
Alright.
And the appointments. This is a leather trim. And Audi is luxurious. If you want something more than a Touareg, this is where you go.
Alright.
And if you want something more than this, then you go to the Cayenne. Porsche. From the same family, but everything is a lot more. You've got more power, more luxury, and it's also high-end. You can personalize it a little more. You can't walk into a showroom and just pick one. You have to customize it for you.
Oh, you customize
a Porsche for you.
Porsche,
so that's the difference with all these cars. Very similar. The components within the cars are very similar, the suspension, but then now it's the smaller things that now make the difference between the various models within the same family.
So like this, what features can we like find? Maybe if we go over the driver's seat over there, and join me there in the mid. No, I think I'll sit this side.
Basic features that differentiate this from your basic car would be the drivetrain. How it interacts between the gearbox and the engine.
Yes.
Otherwise, everything else is the same. I mean, you've got your aircon, you've got your screen that tells you everything that's going on in the car. If we turned it on, we have so many cars to cover, then you can tell how you can interact with the suspension. You can either have it with air suspension or just normal springs. And all those things, it's up to you to decide how many boxes will you tick.
Yes.
And for every box you tick, you pay more. So when you're buying a car, if you're buying new, then you have the opportunity to choose how you want it to be. And if you're buying it used, then perhaps you have no choice. You just pick what you get from the showroom. Or you could then have the person getting the car for you to pick one that suits your needs. For example, I would not buy a car without a sunroof. Because life is short. And I need to enjoy the heavens. So I would go with a sunroof, preferably panoramic, so that I can have even people at the back enjoy the moon. And stuff like that. I mean, you could have your inbuilt phone, if you so wish, and you have extensions for that. In some cars at the back, if we had a limousine here, then you would have a refrigerator. So there's lots of options. One of the key things you want to choose is, do you want 5 seats or 7 seats? And then again, who's sitting in the back? And you make your decisions based on that.
We pop the board and let's take a look at Igunze.
Thank you, Mwai. If we may now just shift focus onto the engine, what is the one feature that you say stands out when it comes to all matters engine for the Audi Q7?
this is your V8 4.2. It's a very powerful engine. If you buy this car, please don't worry about fuel consumption because it will require for you to have a very heavy pocket, and also depending on how you drive. What I'll tell you about these cars is if you're buying an Audi or a Touareg, try and avoid the diesel because those units straight from Europe might give you issues because of the fuel quality you have here. So the safest bet would be either get a locally spec'd car from the dealer or go for petrol.
What's the one thing that's normally the biggest mistake that most car buyers or lovers do when it comes to maintenance of such kind of engines?
The biggest mistake today, a mechanic is not enough. What you need is someone who has studied mechatronics. He's a mechanic and he knows electronics. Those cars are highly computerized. And if you take it to the wrong guy, he'll fiddle with it, he will not know how to diagnose the issue. You need to plug it into a computer that has the latest software that knows this particular thing. And then it will tell you exactly what's wrong. And then you must have the tools to be able to access that part and remove it safely without damaging anything else.
Okay, interesting. We'll now move to the next car, which is basically a BMW X5. What comes into your mind whenever this car or this model of a car is mentioned?
You said you like it better than the rest. Then you can walk in people's mind.
For me, the difference between this car and everything else within the same category is just driving dynamics. They have designed the suspension of this vehicle to allow the driver to really enjoy how the car drives. It's driver-centric, and you will be able to push it to limits that perhaps you would not do in another vehicle because it feels safer. But there's a lot of competition right now. If you blindfold someone and put them into this car and then get them into that, if they touch and feel, they may not tell the difference. But when the car starts moving, is when you realize the difference between this and an ML, this and a Touareg. So they have been leading in that area for a long time. One of the things that BMW has managed to do is to build very good engines. There is something called the Engine of the Year Awards, and they've been winning it for a number of years because the engines are very well designed, very well engineered. So that's the key difference.
Alright, let's take a look at when we started to go on the engine and see that engine and talk about it. How come or machine that, or is there anything else you would like to point out?
In here, it is all aesthetics.
So
depending on how you like things, you remember this gear shifter has changed quite a bit. And in some cars they've gotten rid of it totally. So like in the Range Rover, it's just a rotary dial. So depending on who you are and how you like to interact with your vehicle, you can say this works for me, and it allows you to shift as you go. It's an automatic, but you can do your own manual shifting. That gives you more involvement with the car. A lot of people like that. They want to feel that they are
in charge.
But if you're just cruising in traffic, then you can just let it do the work for you.
Alright. Take a look at the engine. So this is a different engine from the Audi or the same?
Very different. BMW know their engines, and this is a straight 6. So all 6 cylinders are in line. In a V6 or a V8, you've got cylinders next to each other in a V shape. BMW have mastered the 6-cylinder. It's a very smooth engine. It runs very well, and the fuel consumption also very good. BMW are known for efficient engines, powerful but efficient. But what's going on now in the new cars that are coming in, engines are being downsized. So instead of a 6-cylinder, you have a 4-cylinder with a turbocharger. You get the same amount of power but better efficiency. Going forward in 2016, there will be a 5 Series with a 3-cylinder engine. Now you can imagine a 5 Series with a 3-cylinder engine. People will say, well, that's too small, that's a bit. But when you think about the power and how it goes, then you realize that you can enjoy the driving but enjoy the efficiency as well. And they are now combining it with an electric motor that runs the front wheels. So it's 4-wheel drive with the engine running the rear and an electric motor running the front. So there's, I mean, it's changing every day, every year. Vehicles are changing quite a bit.
Alright, if you were to sell one of these cars to me and to Rabui, what do you think will make me come for this and Rabui go for that, or the other way around? Or what sort of a driver is meant to drive such a car, and who should be actually have a preference towards that particular car?
When buying cars, I don't sell cars, but I can tell you that a vehicle must be in tune with you and your journey in life. Where are you at in your life? And what does the car need to do for you? Because the car completes you. You're a brand. So when you're buying a BMW, what does this brand say about your brand? When you're buying an Audi, what does that say about your brand? Are you a niche person or are you a mass market person? How do you want, when you meet your peers and you talk about who you are, what do you drive, what does BMW say? Does it say you enjoy the driving experience, or are you a back left person? If you're a back left person, then maybe you should have an ML. The Audi, on the other hand, it's class, it is refinement, so you like the finer things in life. So it all depends on what you want the car to say about you. It has to be very deliberate.
And when you move to this one, here, will it say anything different
about me if you see me seated over here?
Yes. Wow.
message that we send once we decide to go to the showroom of the background and decide that
You will be someone who has money or wants people to believe you have money.
Wants people to believe you have
Yes,
money.
it's very opulent, it's very showy, it's huge, it's large.
Kind of like me.
Yeah, so you having money is one thing and having class is another.
Yes.
So it will say you have money,
Okay.
but it will not say you have class. But it will say you're also practical because you want a car that can go anywhere.
Right.
But then again, you look at the body kit and perhaps you want to go everywhere, but you are not conscious about what these body kits can do off-road. I mean, they can get in the way.
Okay.
So it's a good car, very well built, and it sounds great. You hear the engine?
Yeah, I can hear the engine.
That's a V8.
Sounds real good.
And well, I have an issue with design because I'm a designer as well, and they've improved the new one that's coming up. I had a problem with this design; it has not grown on me yet.
Okay.
But that's, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So this is a car for someone who says, I have reached where I'm going, and beyond this, he can either change to a Range Rover.
Okay.
But he can't go down.
You can't go
lower than
this.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a big car. It's supposed to be a luxury car, but then it's got cloth seats. So this allows you to spec down your vehicle to... Yeah, but you'll never find a Range Rover with cloth seats.
Yes. Well, let me ask you, is it true though that white cars are cheaper? Like you buy a car white?
Not necessarily. It used to be the case, but then now white is the new black.
Okay.
A lot of people want white because it says you're clean, you're refined, and white is becoming a coveted color.
Yes.
You notice that Porsche Cayenne did a lot of white cars.
Okay.
It's a nice color, especially if it's not just a pure white. It could be some special white, and there's many kinds of whites. So it's not necessarily cheap. It's cheaper to maintain if you go banging around your car, and you want it to be fixed at a roadside car yard.
All right. So we're going to move on because we have another one like this, so we're going to look at that one as well. Let's go to the top of the range, and then we'll also ask our brother here to explain to us the cleaning process. Maybe we can go inside this one as well and peep at it. So as you can see, remember the hashtag to use is for breakfast and 22422. That is all right.
So Raburu, this is a very interesting example of a car.
Okay.
Because if you look at the back of this car, and I'd like one of the cameras to go to the back, there's a label that says autobiography.
Okay.
Autobiography is the tick in appointments in this Range Rover vehicle. But this particular vehicle is not an autobiography.
Okay.
So when you're buying a used car, you have to be very careful that you're getting what you asked for.
Yes.
You look at the leather seats here, they're not perforated.
Okay.
An autobiography will have perforated seats. It specs the ultimate limit. So when a car is coming in from abroad and it has got all sorts of labels, you need to verify and do your research to be sure that what you're buying is exactly what you're getting. Because I mean, this is a basic spec. It's been facelifted to look like So it's very ideal for the entrepreneurs who have cash that comes and goes and doesn't stay, and life changes very, very quickly. And you can have this car, use it, look good for the time being, close a few deals, and move on to
other things.
Yes.
All right.
So this is an example of don't believe the tags on the car.
Yes.
Look at the specs, go through the sheets, and see if it's really what they say it is.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't even have a sunroof.
You're standing with the panoramic, because like you say, life is short.
Life is short.
All right, let's move on to the next car. All right, moving forward. I guess before we, Igulza, maybe you're down to earth as I wait over with the beast. Me, I'll be with the beast. Take on here. You go up on Mr. Gilbert Mine on the beast.
Most people have argued that it brings a perception. It brings a perception that it's actually meant to the perhaps business side. Is that
it's an ideal car for a female, but I drive a Mini Cooper as well, and it's a very good drive. It's a nippy car. It's built by BMW. It works. It runs very well with a 1.6 liter engine, and it's efficient and safe. It's more airbags than children's party.
Let's have a look at it. And what is it that would actually make me come for this particular sort of a car? Why not just drive a beast?
Well, you're practical. You're looking for a small car that is quick, safe, and also has a bit of class. Mini are rebranding and repositioning the brand to go for the premium segment, and that just says, rather than buy a Mazda Demio or a Vitz, you're saying I want a solid car. It's solid. Just feel the body, well built, but you don't want to spend too much on fuel. Then again, you can get a Mini Cooper with a turbocharged engine that goes like the wind. So if you want performance, you can get performance. What they've also done, they've expanded the brand, and you've got the Mini Countryman, the Mini Paceman. You've got all sorts of Mini that are no longer small. So this is no longer a Mini as in the sense of Mini small. This is the smallest. So if you want this car and you're buying it for your wife, it's a very ideal and safe car to have that says that you have a bit of class.
And when it comes to fuel efficiency and also engine capacity, what ranges do we have right now?
We're looking at what they've done with the previous models had a 4-cylinder small engine, 1.6, and then you have a turbocharged engine. But now what they've done with the new one, they've reduced and removed 1 cylinder, so it's 3 cylinders. But still as powerful, but more efficient. So the engines are small, they're efficient, they're nippy, and it makes a lot of sense. The only challenge would be, where will you get the parts to service this car? Because they're not common. So for example, mine, I had to import the spare parts myself and have it fixed at my garage dealer, my BMW dealer. Suspension parts will be an issue. So what I'd suggest, if you want this car, be sure that you can get the parts in, genuine parts. Of course, very few fake. And you should be able to run this car very efficiently.
Okay, so it's class and it's also efficiency.
Yes.
Okay, interesting, and people should be ready to actually dump their pocket a little bit.
It's not too expensive to run. It's a very small engine, and you know, cars, there's this perception that it will be expensive to run. What are you doing with the car? You're just running it. Just service it properly. Unless you're in the business of bashing up your car and crashing it, and you have to change the headlights every 2 months, why should a car cost you? It shouldn't cost you much.
What's its greatest enemy when it comes to running or perhaps maintaining it?
In this one, you're lucky because they're not too. There are no fake parts for it. But for most cars, you'll find that you can get filters and service parts that are not genuine.
They're counterfeit.
They're counterfeit, or they are aftermarket parts that were done by a different supplier and are not as good as the original. That will be the danger.
All right. Finally, Rabulu, are you ready to perhaps sit in your beast and have it analyzed so that we can actually wind up that overall review and narrow down to nitty-gritty?
All right, thank you. I'll take the mic. Thank you. All right, so this is the beast. We're here with Gilbert Maina. He's the director of CarMax. Tell us a little bit about Bruno.
Good morning. This is Land Cruiser Bruno ZX, popularly known as ZX, is the top of the range on the Land Cruiser models. Fully kitted with every requirement. I think Mike Mwai will explain more on the extras the vehicle has. I think he knows more about the talk. But if you're looking for the car to satisfy you, we'll go inside. We'll show you all the extras that it has. It is the top of the top Land Cruiser VXs before you go to the Signas, to the LX 570 as people know it. So basically, we're talking. This is a 2015 model. It's a 4,600 cc petrol V8 engine. It's basically more or less a new car. It's done 5,000 kilometers. It's got 4 cameras, front, sides, behind. Typically the Land Cruiser used to come with a pop-up boot. Now it's automatic. It's got heated seats, cooled air seats. Instead of the AC hitting you directly, you can cool your seats. It's got a cooler box and rear entertainment and you Bluetooth hands-free kit. Mike, maybe you'll explain more.
How much would this cost?
This would be brand new. This would go for about 16 million in the market. But since this is a used vehicle, we are currently selling it for 14.8 million. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I still have some questions for you a bit later on, but I want to see with Mr. Mike. Let's take a look at the interior and this extras. Nimesikia iko na cooler ndo inaitwanga fridge. Okay. All right.
Now, Raburu.
Yes.
When you talk about luxury,
okay,
there's a key difference between that VX and this one.
Okay.
This is what you should, if you're buying a VX, this is what you should look for. The seats, perforated leather.
Okay.
They can be heated, they can be cooled. Everything in this car is premium. Now chances are, if you're the owner of this car, you will be driven.
Okay.
So you'll be sitting at the back.
Okay. Oh, it has your roof too, Mike.
It has my sunroof.
Yes.
This is, I mean, life is short.
Yes.
Enjoy it to the fullest. A lot of people are skeptical about sunroofs. I'm not. I believe if you keep your car clean, your sunroof should work for the entire ownership. But everything else here is it just tells you that you have reached.
Yes.
Cruise control. This car can actually stop itself.
Oh yeah?
Traffic. If you're about to knock someone because you're not concentrating, you're counting your money, it will stop. Because of the cameras and the Distronic system.
So this it helps in any obstacle, right? It can stop any obstacle.
The new cars today come with a lot of technology that helps the driver enjoy the ride. It's called autonomous driving. It can you can put cruise control and it can keep a certain distance from the car ahead of it, and you don't even need to step on the accelerator. All you need to do is steer. And even if you forget to steer, it has cameras that check the lanes, and it will keep. If you're going off the lane, it will beep and then take you back.
Wow.
And in some cars we don't have them here. You have active steering where even the rear wheels in a corner when you're going very fast, even the rear wheels will tilt slightly to help you take the corner properly. This is one of those cars that has air suspension where when you're driving very fast, it actually lowers itself automatically. As soon as you reach 160 kilometers an hour. And when you stop going too fast, it raises. When you go off-road, it raises automatically. It senses everything around it, and you can climb up a hill without even stepping on the accelerator, or go down a very steep incline without stepping on the brakes. Yes. Because it then just crawls. It's called crawl control. There's so much in this vehicle. It's like a smartphone. Yes. Just so many features. You don't even know how much you're using. Yes. So the key thing, if you're buying a car like this, is get to know what it really can do. Otherwise, you're wasting your money. I don't think you can get it for 16 million in the showroom here. Not at this spec. For this spec, I think nothing less than 25 million going towards that. If Toyota Kenya were to bring it. So if you're buying it used, you're getting a very good deal from Gilbert. Because
and Gilbert is seated at the back here with his entertainment. Tell us a bit about that.
If I'm being driven by my driver, one of the best things I'll have is rear entertainment. I can watch my movies. I can watch the news as they go by. I can cool my seats. I can heat my seats. And I've got a lot of ambience and space. And I also, my rear passengers, back rear, all the way. the rare passengers all the way have got also another entertainment for them to enjoy if they are not able to see this one. I have safety. This is high definition. I have the music system is amazing. You can see speakers all the way on top of on me. You have enough speakers to entertain me, and the leather again is perforated, and the view from the back does not distract me. I'll also enjoy what the driver is doing. I have a nice armrest when I pull it here. If Mike, you could push that for me, just push it down. Yep. Yeah, I can enjoy my drinks, and I'm comfortable. Yeah. Yeah, and I can also heat the seats should I feel cold. Like this morning, it was very cold. The steering is heated, so in case you have arthritis or something like that, and you really freeze in the morning, the steering is heated. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you're on the back.
I'm at the back here.
Yes.
And all I can say about this car is that you don't want to be carrying crowds.
Okay.
At this level, because a car this side, I should be able to fit comfortably at the back.
Yes.
And right now I'm a bit squeezed.
Okay.
When Mr. Gilbert Sir is enjoying his ride, unless he does that.
Yes.
So it's a bit tight, but you could get 7 people in here.
Okay.
The last row may not be as comfortable as the second row, but it is possible. You are likely to do this because at that level, if you've reached this level in your life,
you don't want to be having groupies.
Unless it's your children, who chances are they'll be smaller or they'll be in their own cars.
Yes.
So, Rabu, this is the car for you, I think.
Thank you.
The Mini Cooper, you might struggle to get
in and out.
You're
Yes.
a tall guy. You're a big guy.
But this is the car for me.
Yeah.
25. Upper Gilbert will give me a good deal. All right. Gilbert, come and tell us the automated boots that you're talking about. So things have changed here as well at the back.
The old Land Cruiser.
Yes.
You had to use manual system. The old Land Cruiser, typically you have to use the typical Land Cruiser. You have to use a manual system to lock it. This one you use a button. Sorry, it is still sensing that the doors are open, so it's probably not locked properly. But there we go. It's still sensing. It senses that all the other doors are not locked. But this is automated now. Just lock the doors, all of them. The other side. So it's okay. Yeah, but let's see what you can do.
Hope you'll be good, Jackson.
Lock that door, Oscar.
Cables might be.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, the cable. It can't close there. Okay. All right, Oscar. Watch your head. We have to turn it on. Just a minute. Give me a second.
So let me just get this. So thank you. So as Gilbert continues to turn it on and everything, remember the hashtag is for breakfast. Your question and comments. I've seen about 3 of them. Some of them have partly been answered by Mike, but we'll ask him those questions again. I've seen some more that are still coming in. We've not forgotten you. The hashtag to use is still for breakfast and 22422. So yes. So we'll continue to ask some of them. For somebody, the question I've asked about is what somebody asked about, whether diesel or petrol. What will say magari za diesel upiga kelele?
That used to be the case, but now with the new diesel engines, they are not noisy. You've got common rail diesel technology that has changed that. The rattle is gone. It's a bit noisier than a petrol engine, but it's not as noisy as the diesels from before. What you should be careful about when buying a diesel is where is it coming from and what kind of diesel is it designed to consume. Because our diesel is not world class, and it will affect your injectors, it could affect your turbo, and you could have very expensive repairs. So be careful when buying diesel. Ensure that it is suited for this market. The key thing would be take it to the dealer, get them to check, get them to remove all the particulate filters that are not necessary for this market, and then you should have a trouble-free driving. But safest thing is just go for petrol and use recommended fuel stations, so that you're not using adulterated fuel that can affect your engine. The repairs can be very expensive. Yeah.
Right. So of course, what this is a topic that we are very passionate about as well. At least one of us is, and we're also going to be talking about it a little bit shortly now as we join Patrick Gunza on the other side. So again, Gilbert will be joining us also later on about the used car industry and all. We're going to be talking about that. But Patrick Gunza has a very interesting conversation because gari ni maintenance, and so he's going to be talking to a gentleman there about how to maintain your car as well, so that it looks clean, it looks neat all the time, and like we were told, the car is a reflection of you. Igunza.
So thank you very much. Willis Nyumezema pia kubai gari ni one thing of it, one aspect of it further. Now kumaintain pia is a totally different aspect. And so joining me right now is Martin. Martin is also a car dealer, and he also sells accessories when it comes to maintenance of car and also ensuring that it is up to scratch when it comes to the how it looks. And so Martin, just tell us, what is it that you have today, and what do we normally use these particular things for?
Thank you, Mr. Igoza. First of all, buying a car is something, and maintaining something is something else. And that is why today we've come to show you some of the things, the product to maintain your car. We have the air fresheners to make sure that your car scent is good. We have the dashboard spray to make sure that no dulling on your dashboard. And also we have car polish. Very nice products to make sure that at least your body, everything is good and nice. And then we have mug cleaners. We have leather cream for your leather. We have also, it's also part of car polish. And then we have tire gloss to make sure your tires are really shining. And all these products that we have today, they are to make sure your car is good and you're comfortable, and it gives you everything that you need from it.
Okay, all these stuff that we have here, are they meant for me to use as a car owner, or should I carry them whenever I'm taking my car for washing, or to a car wash, or to a garage, something of that sort?
All these products, you're supposed to have them by yourself in your car. Whether you're washing it by yourself, whether you have someone else wash it for you, he can do it, or you can do it by your own time here. Yeah.
Are there things that we need to understand before using them, or are they just simple to use?
Oh, they're all simple because they have instructions on how to use them. So they're the things that generally you can do it by yourself without any instruction from anyone.
So you stock them in your shop?
We stock them at the Move Auto Accessory, just near Hurlingham after Best Western Hotel.
Okay.
You can find everything. We stock there.
Thank you. That's where you also have your car yard?
Yes, at Malik Car Link. Yeah,
Malik Car Link.
Yeah.
As we wind up the show, just help us understand that this is a car that we actually went through it, we reviewed it not so long ago. How much is it going for?
It's going for 12 million. Because it's a 2013, it's 0 mileage. So we are selling it at 12 million negotiable.
Negotiable?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the lowest it can attract?
Maybe you can count out to 11 point something there, million. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will very quickly cross over to the Range Rover. Joining me right now is none other than Florence from Al Shujaa Motors, who are actually the sellers of this particular machine here. Florence, very quickly, how much is this car going for?
This car is going for 5.2 million Kenyan shillings only, and it's still negotiable.
It's still negotiable?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the mileage?
The mileage of it is around 46,000 kilometers, yeah, which is very favorable, and that can only mean that the car is still new and not...
And for our audience, where is Al Shujaa located?
Al Shujaa Motors is located along Ring Road, Kilimani, direct opposite AdLife Plaza. Yeah.
And you only sell this sort of cars, or do you have ranges for each and every other individual?
We have ranges for each and every person out there, starting from Toyota Vitz all the way up to the Range Rovers, Audi, BMWs, Land Cruisers. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. There you have it, 5.5 million shillings. If at all you want to ensure that this particular machine behind me goes home with you. And so we will be tossing it over to Willis, who will just have a look at some of the interactions that have been coming through. Some of the questions very briefly, Willis, before we wind up the show. What are people saying on social media?
All right, there's one here and a question that I want to direct at Gilbert as well. Somebody has actually asked something we're actually also talking about. At Robert Karanja is asking, how do you tell if a car is genuine or genuine, depending on where you went to school, genuine mileage and all that?
It's very simple nowadays. The inspecting company, or the company that has been mandated by the Kenya Revenue Authority and Kenya Bureau of Standards to inspect vehicles have got a certificate they issue, which is online, and you can also confirm with Kenya Bureau of Standards online whether the mileage is genuine. The other alternative also is to consult your mechanic before you buy the vehicle, and also do a proper road test. Consult your mechanic widely, and not only one person. You can consult two people.
Just a question: which mechanics are you talking about? Which kind of mechanics?
If you have a mechanic you trust, because we all have our own mechanics, and each mechanic, you feel your mechanic in different ways. There are good garages, and there are all other kinds of garages, and there are good mechanics there that people feel. And normally when you enter a car which is neat and clean, you can tell. And sometimes mileage is not usually the determinant factor of buying a car. It's the usage. Because if I park a car for 5 years and I'm not using it, the oil is going to be like mud in itself. So it may be 5,000 kilometers, but it's not a good engine because it was fast.
Okay.
The driving of a car makes it better. Yeah.
Mike, someone is asking here, Peter Pitts is asking, Igunza, kindly ask Mike what I should look out for or what I should consider before buying my first car.
Before buying a first car, you need to be sure that the car can be maintained at the level at which you can afford. So if you're buying a Honda, for example, the parts for a Honda will be slightly more expensive than the parts of a Toyota, because not enough Hondas are in the market to get enough parts to bring the prices down. Same case for a Mazda. So a Toyota might be cheaper to run if it's your first car, and also look for an uncomplicated vehicle. Not too many electronics. A simple vehicle for a first-time buyer. As you grow older and know your car more, then you should upgrade and get cars that are more sophisticated. So that's my advice to you.
Okay, and then the last one here asks, what's normally the relationship between car engines, that is the CC, and consumption? Is there a way you can have a bigger engine car, but then again you don't spend quite an amount when it comes to fueling it?
To answer that simply, the cylinders of a car consume fuel. Fuel is sent into the cylinder. So if you have 4 cylinders, less fuel is going in, depending on how efficient and how modern the car is. So if you have 8 cylinders, chances are you will spend more. Although these days you've got 8 cylinders where when you're in town, 4 cylinders can be deactivated so that you can enjoy better fuel consumption automatically. If you're cruising in town, they shut down 4 cylinders. That's a modern car. For your other basic cars, 4 cylinders means better fuel consumption. 6 cylinders, it goes up, go 8, go 12. It's just more consumption. So go for a smaller capacity, and then look at the size of the body. What's the weight of the car, and how much weight is that particular engine carrying? Because you can get a 2-liter Subaru, it will be efficient. With the same Subaru with a bigger body, or the 1.6 or 1.8, you're carrying a little higher load. So if you're not driving properly and looking at the rev counter, you'll consume more. Look at your rev counter and just keep it under 2,000 revs, between 1,500. Your consumption will be fine. As immediately you go beyond 2,000, 2,500, consumption goes up. Watch your rev counter, don't watch the speedometer.
All right.
Thank you.
Just we're going to do one more thing with Gilbert here, because you're in the used car industry. All right, we're going to look for random people have been asking me a lot of questions, especially about the money. So if you have let's say 900,000, what kind of cars can you recommend for somebody who has 900,000 or to 1 million, 900 to 1.2 million?
The vehicle prices have changed tremendously because of the exchange rate and basically the competition out here in the world. Initially, some of the biggest importers from Japan were, because Japan is our biggest supplier of second-hand motor. The biggest competitors with us was New Zealand and Pakistan. Today we have new countries which are emerging, like Trinidad and Tobago. We have Myanmar. Pakistan has increased the intake of the second-hand vehicles, so has New Zealand. We have Jamaica. So the market, the auction prices have gone higher than they used to be. So you find a vehicle like a Vitz, which used to sell typically in the last 6 months was selling for about 620, 650, is now selling at 750. The popular IST for ladies and the young boys is now almost selling at $1 million. And the Belter, the popular Belter, is now in the regions of 900 to 1 million.
Okay.
So, and what is going to happen with the new government proposed tax? We hope that it will be lenient enough.
Yes.
The young people getting new jobs or leaving the university, or you want to buy your daughter a car or your son a car, or you've just gotten your new job.
Yes.
With the new tax regime and the exchange rate, the cheapest car in the market in the next few months or next 1 month or so will be selling from 750 onwards.
Okay.
And that we're talking of a car like Mazda Demio.
All right.
Or a Nissan March.
All right.
Those smaller cars. Those are the typical cars we used to sell for 500, 550. They've gone up very high because of exchange rates.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll just give Mr. Igunza. Thank you so much. I mean, thank you to Mike Mwai for coming and for your insights. We'll definitely have one more other show like this. Maybe one day we'll have Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces. You can come and enjoy your panoramic roof and everything there. And thank you so much to Gilbert Main as well, and to everybody who came in all these cars. My car, this one.
Okay.
The beast, Bruno, 25 milli, Apa, yangu.
Not a problem. I'm still dreaming to be down to earth. So I will be looking forward to
the
Mini Cooper not so long from now.
All right. Well, that's all the time we had. Thank you so much for your comments becoming. I know there are so many, but we'll refer you probably to Mike or Gilbert later on our social media platforms so you can get in touch with them because I've seen you have so many questions, and also on 22442. Thank you so much for that. And as always, Yegus, Igunza,
thanks for coming through. It up. Yeah, thank you also for inviting me as always. It's always spontaneous. You never know what we will be bringing to you. So make sure that you give us a date rather next Thursday for anything that we might think of, anything that we might decide is going to make you actually stay into Citizen Television.
All right, well, remember tonight, Opinion Court, stay on for that. But for now, though, that's all the time we had. My name is Will Saburu, reminding you, as always, that successful people look like you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And see you tomorrow, where we're having the Acorinos. Tomorrow. God bless you.
Thank you very much.